Hello! Today's topic is reading to understand the author's mood. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to 1. Identify the author's mood through the use of words and expressions. 2. Read between the lines with a view to detect hidden attitude. And 3. Identify the general impression created by the author's manner of presentation. It is pretty easy to tell when you're in a good mood, but even your favorite stories have moods too. And they impact how you feel while reading. When was the last time a story made you cry, laugh, feel nostalgic, optimistic, or feel frightened? You can thank the author in large part for evoking those feelings in you. Author's mood is the overall feeling or atmosphere of a text often created by the author. The author can create using elements like tone and mood, diction, and of course imagery. Let's go through each of these elements. 1. Tone and mood. Tone and mood are often confused because they both describe the emotions of a written work. The tone or attitude of the author sets the mood of the piece and determines what the reader will feel. If an author has a sad tone, they most likely want the reader to have an empathetic or sad mood. Mood is the emotional response that a writer wants to give the reader in a creative, persuasive, or personal piece of writing. It's all about feeling, and it's strangely hard to put in words for that reason. It creates an atmosphere and tells the reader how to feel about what they are reading. The next one we have is diction. Diction refers to the linguistic choices made by a writer to convey an idea or point of view or tell a story in an effective way. Diction is perhaps the key player of creating mood. Each word an author selects should further communicate the mood he wants to create. So this involves any narration or dialogue as well. For example, it would be very strange for the author to try to create a sad mood to have an exclamation of excitement in his dialogue. Each word choice should reinforce the mood the author wants to achieve. Another example, the author wants to create a foreboding atmosphere. They wouldn't say, "The clouds were light and puffy." They would rather say, "The clouds were dark and heavy." Well, last but not least, we have imagery. Imagery uses words that appeal to the reader's senses to create an image they can almost experience. An author who describes a meadow as having colorful flowers, a soft whistling breeze and warm sunlight is creating a relaxing mood through sight, sound, and touch. On the other hand, a dark, cold room with fleeting shadows and an unidentified high-pitched scream establishes a frightening mood. Let us look at this passage, an excerpt from The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. In his well-known novel, Hemingway portrays a character, the old man who lives much of his life in isolation and often suffers from loneliness. However, as demonstrated in this passage, the overall mood of the story reflects the comforting presence of nature, which eases the man's feelings of loneliness and those of the reader as well. Hemingway establishes this mood through the peaceful and comforting tone of the narrator towards the old man and the setting, which influences the reader's emotion. That brings us to the end of the lesson. All good literature makes us feel something, whether it inspires us, makes us cry, or reminds us of another time. These feelings bring us together and make us feel connected with the story. They remind us that we are not alone in our feelings. Through tone, diction, and imagery, writers can create a specific mood and use their artistic skill to make us feel any of the wide array of emotions.